what do you say after that one? Because a 3-1 scoreline doesn't really reflect the game, does it?
No, disappointed. Just disappointed. You know, another game we've lost. We should have got something out of it. Got to be more clinical in front of goal. You know, and they showed with their 2 moments. You know, real good, clean strikes in the first and the third goal, which obviously, you know, ultimately won them the game. Ethan was a bit. I've just said, you know, if you're going to go through them, I remember doing one of them. Way at Middlesbrough. Still remember it to the day like it was yesterday. So learning curve for him, but I thought he was excellent. You know, took his goal fantastically well. Yeah, and we asked him lots of questions. What we didn't do is we just didn't put the ball in the back of the net in them critical moments. And I think, you know, when you don't do that, you know, when the quality they have and the resources and the bench they have and the players they have, you know, they're going to be able to make changes and yeah, punish it like they did in the 94th minute, I think it was.
Is it one of those where you've got 2, let's look at it, evenly matched teams today, but you can see why one's in mid-table and why one's top of the league, just because they score at the right time?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, look, it's the hardest thing in football. People always think it's easy, whatever. And I know, but so it's the hardest thing in football to do. But what I'm pleased about was that we had more chances. We created more chances. You know, we should have scored. And what we've got to do, you know, the lads I thought they worked the game plan to a T today. What we didn't do is we didn't execute at the top end of the pitch in them big moments or what we had. And ultimately too, I thought that. And I don't like talking about them, especially when Peter's here, but the referee I thought was very poor in 2 massive occasions. One in the first half when Ethan Wheatley gets away from the lad, he decides to blow up, and then he couldn't run through and score for a 1-on-1. And then in the second half, where their right wingers come right across Jordan Tony, stood high and shin just in the middle of the park, and yeah, you can't miss them moments because they're poor tackles, poor challenge. But yeah, let's go on about that. I'm proud of my lads today, but what I'm not happy about is that we didn't get a result. And we're going to play a lot worse than that this season and get points. I know that, but it's always just a dig in the kidney when you have a performance like that and you don't get the result you deserve.
That's what I was going to say. Do you say to your team, you know, play like that, we're going to win more than we lose? I've got the stats in front of me. You've got more possession than Cardiff, more expected goals, more shots, and they're a team flying high at the top. Is it a case of, you know, do that next week, the week after, we're going to have more points? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that's it. You know, can we go and now produce that away at Plymouth? You know, there's not many teams who've done that to Cardiff this year. But what we've got to do is we've got to take good parts from it, but we can't afford to lose 3 goals. You know, so as much as everybody, you know, is going to pat them on the back for being really competitive, for doing the right things and everything else, we haven't executed at the top end of the pitch. So again, things what we'll work on, we'll move on to, and we'll keep learning on everything from it. But really pleased for Ethan. Great to see Tommy's back, Listy back, everybody else now. Squad's coming together and being there together. And you know, Listy's chance is a massive moment. You know, we go 2-2, who knows what happens then? You know, and but you could see, you know, they were on the sideline. You could see that they were. We caused them a few problems, and I'm pleased about that.
You mentioned Tommy's being back, him starting up front with Ethan Wheatley. They look quite a handful, don't they?
Yeah, they will be, and we've got Listy to add to that as well. You know, Cam Swire, Kyle Edwards. So yeah, things are looking good. As I said, just in them moments, we didn't execute, and that's probably an old smile here, but inside I'm gutted about it.
On another day goes another way. Cameron McGeehan not involved today. What's the news on that?
Yeah, he's felt a bit in his calf, but again, as I say all the time, no risks, because if you risk, sometimes you don't get the reward you want. And we've got a team stack now up that time, and it's up to them to claim and reclaim the shirt, and then you know Cam's going to have a tough time trying to get back in. That's what, you know, I demand of the players who've got the shirt at the time. So yeah, we'll just take Cam day by day, week by week, if you like, but I imagine that he'll be in and around us next week.
Plymouth away next weekend. They won today away at Port Vale. What's the message ahead of that one?
Yeah, well, obviously we'll sit down and we'll go through the game plan and everything else, and what we want and what we expect. They've had a nice away win today, you know, really important one for them. But what we've got to go there, we've got to quieten the crowd, you know, get the crowd, get them a bit anxious and perform like we did today, and not only just with the ball but without the ball, because I thought we were excellent without it as well in the press. And when we, you know, sometimes you lose out in the press, but I thought the way we handled it and what we prepared for and what was thrown at us today, I thought we executed very well.
Kevin, thank you. Tough luck.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.